Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today we're going to talk about Wizards of the Coast and the announcements that they just made today and yesterday with regard to publishing of content by individuals. So without further ado, let's hit it. So the last couple of days there have been some bombshells that have been dropped by Wizards of the Coast. And when I say bombshells, I mean that in a good way. They have made announcements. Yesterday they announced that a couple of different things. For anybody that is interested in publishing content for under the Dungeons and Dragons license, they have what's called the Open Gaming License, which they released a document, which I will put in the description, a link to it in the description below if you want to go check it out, all the details. But it basically gives the parameters for which, if you want to publish your module, your adventure, your maps, your custom creatures, or items that you have created, it tells you how to do that and what the percentages would be and all that. So go check that out. It'll be below if you want to look at that. That is if you want to publish things that are not with regard to Forgotten Realms. It can be 5th edition or whatever, but if it doesn't take place in the Forgotten Realms, if it's a homebrew campaign, that type of thing, it falls under the Open Gaming License. If it is for Forgotten Realms, and you want to design something for Forgotten Realms for 5th edition or whatever, there's a thing now called the Dungeon Masters Guild, and you would be publishing it under there, and Wizards of the Coast would take a percentage, and you would get the remainder, etc. So for Forgotten Realms, Dungeon Masters Guild. Everything else, Open Gaming License. So I'm going to put links to both below, so that if you are at all interested in how you would go about publishing your stuff, you can do it. So that is one thing. Now, let me give my opinion. I think that Wizards of the Coast has been doing a systematic strategy for bonding with the players of Dungeons and Dragons. Starting when they released 5th edition, they started the Adventurers League and Encounters and all that stuff for organized play, and they did a masterful job of tying in all their different franchises. They had the tabletop, 5th edition D&D. They had they came out with the miniatures game. They came out with a tie-in for Neverwinter, the MMO. They every time that they did a new segment for Adventures League, they had a tie-in with Neverwinter, so they could have content on there. They've just been doing everything they could to kind of saturate and use their license in all different forms of gaming. Then they also came out with what they call Dragon Plus, which is an app for your phone, which is basically what the old Dragon magazine used to be, but it's just now on an app on your phone. It's not nearly as much content, etc., but it's portable. It's easy. And it helps for them to spread the word of all their different products. At the same time, it's free. So for you, the consumer, it's kind of a win-win, because you get to see all their different articles and then about the products and all that stuff, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's great when you're sitting there getting your tires changed or something. You just pull up Dragon Plus and you can read through it. The other thing that they did was when they started releasing their adventure content periodically, they were releasing free documents on their website for the I think they were called the Adventurer's Guides, and they were just a few pages that were well done though, and they were free. You could print them out, whatever, for your game. And there was some other documents. There's a lot of other documents that they were doing for free. and this was all in an effort. What I think they were trying to foster community with the players and build loyalty. Now they have gone one step further, and now they're opening it up to people that want to create content and produce it either under the Open Gaming License or the Dungeon Masters Guild. I think it's a brilliant strategy move on their part. I think it's going to benefit all of us because there's going to be all this different content that's going to be available to us to use, that's going to be produced by all these different great people that want to do this, and it gives you the opportunity yourself to do that. And I've already got a couple of ideas of things that I might decide to do that with. So I think that's fantastic. The other thing that they announced was today. They announced today that before today, the Adventurers League is what they called it, was the way that you could experience organized play for 5th edition. And you had to go to a gaming store, the gaming stores got the content released from Wizards directly to them, and that's the only way you could play it. Then they had their it was called Encounters, and they had another tier. Encounters were like you could go to events and then like tournaments and things like that, and then Encounters would be available there. Then there was another tier that was strictly for like Gen Con. You know, you go to Gen Con and then there was this content that was available there through. Now what they've done as of today, the announcement is they're basically making that content available to everybody. Instead of having to go to the gaming store or go to the convention or whatever, it's going to be available online through them. And then DMs could choose to use that content as they see fit. I don't know if there's what the cost is involved for that content. I'm sure some of I'm guessing some of it might actually be free. Kind of like, here, try it out, whatever, and then the additional content later will, of course, cost something. That's just supposition on my part. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to go. But so this is more of them fostering the community type thing, and I think it's a smart idea on their part. They're basically, in a nutshell, the way I put it is, they're making people want to play their game. That's what it comes down to. They're removing barriers. Any of the barriers, well, I don't really want to go to the game store every other Tuesday, or every Wednesday. I don't want to have to go there. I want to be able to do it on my schedule. Okay, that barrier removed. I want to share my dungeon with other players. Heck, I'd like to even make a little money if I could doing it. Boom, barrier removed. And I think it's brilliant. This is what needs for the gaming community at large. This is the way it needs to be. And in the long run, I think everybody's going to benefit. I think they're going to benefit, and all of us as well. So let me know how you guys feel about all these announcements and everything. Again, I'll put links below for you about the Open Gaming License, the Dungeon Masters Guild, and then the announcement today about Encounters going public, basically. So let me know how you guys feel, and that'll do it. We'll catch you on the flip side.